My name is Colleen, and this is my kitchen. I've struggled with my weight my entire life. After trying every diet in the book without any success, I came to the realization that diets don't work. I started my journey at a size 26W, weighing just over 300 pounds. In almost a year and a half, I've lost over 120 pounds, and I am a size 14. No W. What's my secret? Eating healthy and moving more. Now I'm here to show you how you can cook healthy food without compromising on taste and lose weight just like I have. Because if I can do it, you can too.
Hello and welcome back to my kitchen. Tonight we're going to be cooking with our friend the butternut squash again, and I have a really quick and easy meal for you that I'm calling Harvest Vegetable and Quinoa Bake. It's absolutely delicious, very easy to make, and it starts with cooking up some quinoa. And so the first thing I want to do is go ahead and put 2 cups of, this is homemade salt-free chicken broth. If you check my blog post from last week, you'll see that I had some tips in there for how to make your own broth at home. Very easy, very cheap, and so much better than store-bought. I'm going to bring that to a boil, and I also have my oven preheating to 450. And so while I'm waiting for that broth to boil, I am going to go ahead and start preparing my harvest vegetables. And it starts with half of a butternut squash. It's already peeled and scooped out here. If you go and you look at my video for the Hearty Harvest salad, I also used a half of a butternut squash in that, and you'll see how I really easily peeled that. So what I want to do is go ahead and slice this up. I'm going to chop it into about 1-inch cubes. Next up, I have 2 sweet potatoes, smallish sweet potatoes, that I've already peeled. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to chop these up into cubes and throw them right in the same pan. And you'll notice that I'm not using a baking sheet. I am using a cast iron skillet because it can go into the oven. So I'm going to roast my vegetables in here first, and then once the quinoa is done cooking, I'll throw that together with some other yummy ingredients, and we'll make a nice bake using the same dish. Now I'm going to drizzle over that sweet potato and butternut squash just 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Just like that. Let's get a pinch of coarse sea salt in there. And my chicken broth is starting to boil, so now I have 1 cup of plain light quinoa, and I've already rinsed it and then drained it in cold water. Very important when you're preparing quinoa. So I'm going to add that in there, let that come back to a boil. And then I'm going to cover it and cook it for about 10 to 15 minutes until it's nice and fluffy. For a finishing touch on our roasted vegetables here, I have some fresh sage. I'm just going to chop this up. And I love sage with the butternut squash. It just has such a nice earthy kind of warm feeling to it. It's a great fall dish. Toss all of this up really good. Oops, lost one there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put this into my oven. Remember, I've had my oven preheating to 450, and I'm going to bake this for about 15 minutes, the same amount of time that my quinoa is cooking up. And then we'll come back here and finish this dish up. Butternut squash and sweet potatoes have roasted up really, really nicely here. So now what I'm going to do, I turned off turn off my burner. I'm going to reduce my heat to 375 on my oven. And then I'm going to take this quinoa that is cooked up all nice and fluffy and just dump it right in this pan. Just like that. Then I have here 2 ounces of gorgonzola cheese. I'm going to crumble this in here really well. And that's it. That's all that's involved. Now all I have to do is mix this up, and then I'm going to put this in the oven, and I'm going to bake it for about 15 minutes until that gorgonzola cheese is nice and melted and bubbly and crumbly. Our quinoa harvest bake has baked up really, really beautifully here, so let's serve this up. Now this is going to serve 4 people. So we can take a nice big helping here. Just like that. Beautiful. I can certainly pair this with a side salad if I want to. For me, this is all I'm going to have. Perfect meal, nice for the fall, very earthy, and have really nice sweet roasted sweet potatoes and butternut squash with creamy gorgonzola cheese and very earthy sage. It's going to be a great, delicious, easy dinner. I hope you give this a try, and I will see you next time in my kitchen.